Can somebody please take Chrisean Rock and go put her back where her feet been?
Chrisean, I was so cringe watching you at Funny Mike Prom.
I wanted to talk about Chrisean because I just don't think she looking good these days. Like, looking at her in her face, like, she just went to the streamer's prom. And once upon a time, I thought she was like one of the prettiest girls.
Introduction. Welcome back to the video. We're going to revisit Crun and the chaos at the streaming university's prom today. Because, baby, it was creating a chaotic atmosphere rather than the primary character. Primary commentary. So, let's discuss it. Chrisean truly believed she was going to experience the same viral globe she had previously. And sure enough, she did go viral, but not in the way she had wanted. Instead, she is now being watched as a living meme who isn't respected because she lacks the, oh my god, I got pull energy. Today, streaming is the trend, and everyone is trying to get into it because, let's face it, YouTube is taking the lead and Twitch is still at the top. So of course, Kun tried. For those of you who don't know who Crow is, started out with semi-popular rapper Blueface, the one with that song with Cardi B. And they blew up together not because of the music, but because of their toxic, violent, and unproductive relationship. That kept going viral for all the wrong reasons, instead of staying at home and rebuilding her brand. She doubled down on the chaos, which is causing self-sabotage. The saddest part is that if she had handled it properly, Chun actually could have made major moves on Twitch or YouTube. She had the visibility and the audience, but the vibes were off and the people weren't buying it. She was embarrassing herself everywhere by getting into fake beefs and acting out. Disclaimer before we continue. Let me quickly clarify that everything in this video is based on alleged facts and my own opinions. This content is for entertainment purposes only and is protected by fair use. I don't know these people personally. This isn't a personal attack. I'm just sharing my honest opinion without any malice. If you're upset about what I said, that's between you and your Wi-Fi. I'm just here to provide the internet with some clarity, with comprehensive backgrounds on TV personalities, influencers, and celebrities now that we've set the scene. Let's really break down what happened at Streaming University Prom. From Kun being manipulated by streamers to the phony drama to her fumbling the Twitch bag in real time. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. This isn't a Tay page, but I do keep up for the internet, homies. It's closing hook to keep viewers watching.
Chrisean and DJ Sky was not supposed to be at that prom last night, okay? The way they acted a fool and embarrassed themselves so many times did not make no sense. I don't know what was worse, the secondhand embarrassment or her all being in these people's face and they not fooling with her. You could tell a lot of people was so uncomfortable. Like Jay, Cinco, and Lala, they was together. She walked up to Lala and them and she was all up in their face and everything. You could tell they felt very uncomfortable. Overall, just the way that she was carrying herself all night, it was just not classy, not ladylike. And overall, the main thing when DJ Sky sat there and took Talil's bottle and she didn't sit here and think that Talil wasn't gonna confront her about it. So when he confronted her, she was like, I didn't take no bottle, I didn't do this. That's not respectful. It's giving real bum behavior, okay? That's what it's giving. And everybody know that Talil has the best hospitality. He don't mind sharing, he don't mind turning up, he don't mind doing none of that. But to sit here and take a bottle out of this man's section that he paid for, that you didn't, and we approach you about it, you just sit there and just giggle. Baby, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. No home training.
No motion in the segment. Title, No More Grace. No more politeness. Okay, so let's talk about it in more detail. People are saying that Croon lacks social grace, respect, and home training. And judging by the way she moved at the prom, it's difficult to disagree. People are also saying that she isn't as attractive as she used to be. And listen, it's not just about gaining weight, that's normal and human. But when you start acting disrespectfully, sloppily, and unkempt, it can make anyone feel less attractive. Appealing because of its vitality, I cite someone who wrote on the internet. She just gained weight and doesn't have the motion she had 2 years ago. The truth is that she allowed a man in prison to dictate every aspect of her life from inside a cell. Just think of how far her career could have progressed if she had left him back in 2022. She had music buzz, streaming deals, and reality TV offers, but she chose chaos instead. Let's face it though, leaving him wouldn't have been enough if Chrisean wanted to truly advance. She would have needed to alter her entire mindset. Like a complete makeover, a boss-up moment like Cash Doll. Or even how she rebranded her globe. But Chrisean didn't do that and remained stuck. As for the face tattoo, baby, if I had a face like hers, I wouldn't have allowed a man to persuade me to get one. That wasn't love, it was manipulation. As you can see, Blueface's narcissism is still affecting her from jail, and what's left is difficult to watch. Title a segment. The uncomfortable reality that she didn't fit in, and listen to a viewer say something that struck a chord with me, unfortunately for her. She was socially awkward and it seemed like no one wanted to be around her. We all watched that clip, and while it was awkward and even painful, the room seemed to want nothing to do with her. It's a lonely feeling, but the truth is that you are who you hang around with. And Chrisean has ruined a lot of first impressions, burned a lot of bridges, and made a lot of poor decisions. Why would any successful influencer or creator want to be associated with that? This isn't about hate, it's about reputation. These influencers are merely networking and not really pals. And nobody wants to connect with someone who is seen as a liability. This episode ends with an optional voiceover hook. So it's not just about Chrisean's fall from grace at this point. It's about what happens when potential is wasted. Influence becomes notoriety. And those who once supported you begin to withdraw in silence.
These days, like, looking at her in her face, like, she just went to the streamer's prom. And once upon a time, I thought she was like one of the prettiest girls. Psychopath, off her rocker, a drunk, a crash out. But beautiful. And just looking at her at that prom, she just looked uncomfortable. She just looked like she did not fit in. Like, she just don't have that same oomph to her, you know? And I'm not sure if it's because she's so stressed out about her baby daddy, if she's still just battling a lot of shit, but that affects you. I'm telling y'all, when you are stressed out, I don't know about y'all, but when I'm stressed out and I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, dang, I ain't looking my glowiest self. I'm not looking my best self, and it's just really showing that whatever I'm going through been eating her up, because she's not looking good. Like, she was looking like an old grandma. She used to be one of them one. I don't know if it was I don't think it was the outfit choice, the hair, none, all of that. She just looked like a disaster. And then her face was like swole up, like she just did not look like youthful and fresh and beautiful like she typically looks. I mean, and despite everything, because no matter all this shit went through, she's
saying you are what you attract. But I am saying that you are what you entertain. You entertain chaos long enough, and that's a reflection of you too. So let's not sit here and act like that. The segment title is Delusion, Dysfunction, and who is really to blame for this part right here? It's where things get uncomfortable, and honestly, I feel embarrassed for Blueface. How did you go from your first baby mama, who honestly just seemed calm and grounded, to Chrisean? He's not a victim in this. He's a participant. To be honest, his other baby mama appears more stable, calm, and put together. She may not have Chrisean's motion, but she's not embarrassing herself on live streams every week either. Segment title, even though Chrisean is acting wild, Blue is innocent because he chose her, laid down with her, and kept going back. In denial, crayons. And now Chrisean has a complete baby. She's spiraling harder than ever instead of slowing down and focusing on her son. And what's crazy is that her fans are still praising her as if it's cute. One online commenter even claimed that she's getting junior help. So it's okay that she's trying, but trying is the bare minimum. As a mother, Junior should be her whole focus. No parties, no arguments, no life with a cup in her hand, just her, baby, and this whole, oh, I've got to make money. The truth is that Chrisean didn't create a sustainable brand. Instead, she created a crash-out shock value brand. This type of brand doesn't last. You don't need to be intoxicated or fighting to. have an audience. Many women and creators have made successful careers out of simply being present and intelligent. Girl, if you had managed your brand back in 2021 to 2022, you should have had enough to take a year or two off and focus on your child. Maintaining consistency. But Kun is still pursuing chaos. And the saddest part is that her fans are making it the segment's closing hook. The question isn't what happened to her, but rather why so many people allowed it to happen. As Junior and, to be honest, Crunby both deserved better before she began destroying everything for views.
Please take Chrisean Rock and go put her back where the been. Cause ain't no way she just came out of nowhere and she done got kicked out. She had the prom crying and trying to twerk on Talil. Like, this mom came out the woodwork just going crazy. Somebody need to take her back wherever the been hiding, cause she is buku crazy.
I need her. I can't take no pictures with Chrisean. Don't get us with shit.
Not too much.
Oh my God, nigga, her bodyguard.
I'm gonna steal you real quick for
Chrisean!
Blueface signature.
Chrisean! Chrisean!
When someone says something like, Junior is slow because she's slow, it sounds cruel on the surface, but when you look deeper, it's hurtful and frustrating because people remember who she was before all of this. Before Blueface, she ran track, was articulate and focused, and was full of potential. That's not just a globe story, it's a lost one. In other words, segment title, Who Really Broke Croon? Yes, she may be insane now, and she may be noisy, unpredictable, and always trying to prove herself. But we've seen this happen before. Toxic, abusive relationships tear people apart until you hardly recognize yourself anymore. We're seeing that happen in real time in this segment title. Let's also be clear, Blueface is not the victim here. He's not innocent simply because Croon is spiraling. Let's maintain the same energy we give women by constantly reminding them, you should have chosen better. So why don't we ever say Blue should have chosen better? The person who chose her stuck with her and used her like a puppet in front of the entire internet. He managed to keep his composure, play victim, and watch the internet drag her as he did it. He understood how to wind her up, get her mad, and send her off like a bomb. She sits back and cashes the check. The segment title is Delusion, Delay in Performance, which means she is delayed, which may indicate that she is unstable. But you know what else is true? This is performance art. Now she is acting out fake. Beefs on livestream, fighting, crying, and spilling all for views in order to stay viral, because the machine that once supported her needs her to remain messy in order to remain relevant. And worst of all, it's working as a closing hook. So now we're watching a girl who was, if we're not careful, will pretend she's just crazy when, in reality, she's just broken on camera for our entertainment. If you want the next piece to delve into how fame exploits trauma, or even a breakdown on how Crew could actually rebrand if she ever wanted to leave the chaos behind, let me know. Once talented, focused, and full of light, she gets eaten up by the same toxic system that ate up everyone before her.
On Chrisean Rock, I never hear anybody say that she too is also developmentally delayed to some capacity. Like, it's very obvious, and I think that was why it was strange for Blueface to even be interacting with that girl in the first place, knowing that there clearly was something wrong. But because she was pretty, it's like people just gave her pass after pass. And now that that prettiness is kind of fading into, I don't know what they got going on. She looked really bad though. People are just seeing her actions for what they are, and they're not giving her the same passes that they used to when she was smaller, more, you know, palatable as far as they were concerned, because she was pretty. It's just strange to just see how it's all unfolding, but also it's like her whole life is going live and being on the internet, and she feeds off of the attention that she gets from the internet. And now, because there is some shame that she carries with the appearance of her child and the scrutiny that she receives from, you know, her child, the backlash that she gets from showing her child and how he is, I don't want to make any assumptions, but we got eyes, you know what I'm saying? We're not, and there's nothing wrong with having a child that has some issues here. The issue is that Chrisean is not getting that baby any help. And that should be a crime because the child is clear.
Title of segment: Private Pain. Public platform when exposure and accountability collide. There has been a lot of discussion lately about whether she is being taken advantage of or is simply suffering from her own choices. The truth is that both are true. Yes, she put herself out there and shared her relationships, chaos, and breakdowns with the world. When you do that, you don't get to control how people react. That's just the nature of the internet. However, let's not act as though someone deserves to be made fun of simply because they choose to be seen. The distinction between exploitation and accountability. The hard truth is that if you don't want people to laugh at your suffering, stop using it as material for a segment titled Heal Before You Parent. There's also the deeper aspect of this discussion: parenting while broken. There's a difference between calling out behavior and making fun of someone's collapse for amusement. One of the most impactful statements made was that all parents should recover before having children in order to prevent projecting their trauma onto them. Whether it be from emotional instability, substance abuse, or even poor food habits, all of that may be inherited through daily habits as well as genetics. And raising a child in public while also attempting to raise oneself is a risky combination. Yes, Gone is spiraling. Yes, people are laughing. But the truth is that she set up the stage for all of this to happen. And once the cameras roll, the world stops seeing you as a person. Generational trauma doesn't end just because you love your child. It ends when you do the inner work before they arrive, not after. And while filming content before final reflection. The pain is real, but so is the responsibility. Begins to view you as a plot device, raising the question of when the content shifts from self-destruction to survival. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think Khan returned to social media too soon? Should she still be concentrating on her son? Or is it the right time for her to secure her bag? In any case, I would really like to hear your thoughts, so please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to enable post notifications so you never miss another video. I also want to take a moment to express my gratitude for reaching 20,000 subscribers. For all the love and support, let's move on to the Cash App giveaway. I'm giving away $150 to one supporter. And all you have to do to enter is leave your Cash App name in the comments section, no $ required. And explain why you should win. It doesn't have to be complicated or lengthy. Can be as straightforward as saying, I watch every video I like and comment on, and I'd love to win. Just be honest with me. I love you all, especially those who truly return the love. I'll chat to you in the next post. The giveaway expires on June 25th at 1 p.m. EST. So make sure to submit your submission before then.